It is. So it's free.
It's for
So
everyone.
so some people they wouldn't need to purchase private insurance because they get free public and health care.
Yes, exactly. Okay, now I started to understand your healthcare system because I think United States doesn't have free healthcare
No,
system.
no, it's very
Mm,
expensive here.
yeah, I hear news about it. It's nonsense and it's so weird. Like, why
Really.
would people pay for health insurance? Like, there are hospitals.
All right, so today we have a special podcast. We are going to an area of the world that we've never been to before, which makes it really special. And I have a special guest she has trekked off the beaten path to this area of the world, and it is truly spectacular. Um, Erva, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. I appreciate this.
Thank you for inviting me, Ray. I'm happy
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, all right, well, Erva, let's start by you sharing a little bit about, where you're from and then how you landed in this destination. You can reveal the destination and how you landed there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so my name is Erva. I'm 26 right now, and I live in Zanzibar, and I'm Turkish. I was born and raised in Turkey. I'm from Istanbul, which is a beautiful city. I love living there also, but now I ended up in Zanzibar. I
I
have different
love
kind of life right now.
Istanbul. I love Istanbul. It is one of the most spectacular cities in the world. Look at you.
Exactly. I'm lucky to be part of these two different worlds. Like, my part of my life is in Istanbul, and part of my life is in Zanzibar. But still, I go and come back. I try to visit my family uh, whenever I can. So right now I'm in Zanzibar. I live in the east coast of Zanzibar, which is opening to big ocean of like Indian Ocean. It's in open sea, and part of Zanzibar is not open sea. It's connected to mainland Africa, which is a coast of Dar es Salaam. But I'm in the side of east, which means I'm opening to Indian Ocean. If I swim too much, I can reach to India or Sri Lanka somewhere.
Now, what country
So
what country is it associated with? Zanzibar.
Zanzibar is right now connected to Tanzania, which is
Okay.
part of East Africa. And the first time I landed Zanzibar, it was August 2023. And I got job offer here, which was a social enterprise slash NGO. So I got job offer here and they were covering my all flight ticket, 3 meals a day, and with a pocket money and accommodation. So it means
Wow.
I didn't have to spend anything but to come here and live this island life with my marketing job.
Wow.
So I accepted that offer and I come here and we made 1 year contract. Like with a place I have never seen, we made 1 year contract. But first 3 months was kind of like trying the island and if I'm going to get used to it. So I had chance to go back whenever I want in this first 3 months and I loved it. Yeah, my journey started like this and later I decided to stay in Ireland after this my contract and I start doing my own tour company job.
Okay, very cool. So, Irva, when you say you loved it, explain a little bit about what you love about Zanzibar. And for the people that have never even seen pictures of it, describe what it looks like and what you love about it.
When I first landed in Zanzibar, first 2 weeks, I couldn't get out of my village that I was staying. I was in the really southern of Zanzibar, which was really local. When I mean my local, like there are not much uh, like white people or something. It was a small community and the locals. And I didn't feel so secure to go out because there is no public transportation system. Well, there is no bus, metro, and bus number bus app that I can check the schedule when I
Yeah.
need to get off the bus and get in the bus. So I was afraid to go out, even though I travel a lot in the world. And later, I one day we were a group of friends, and I pushed myself to go out because I was so stuck with the small community, and I said, okay, let's go out right now. And I went to Paige, which is the place I feel and I live right now. And I fell in love because the when I first meet the ocean from the streets of like small village and it's opening the ocean and I see the people, the Maasais, which is a tribe in Africa, but they came to Zanzibar for earning of tourism and some working as security. I met them. Everybody's smiling, everybody's greeting at each other, and everybody say welcome. And we sit in one cafe, and it was high tide that time. The people who don't know Zanzibar, Zanzibar is sometimes it gets high tide, which means like water is going over the inside hotel rooms room sometimes.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's low tide that it's going 2 kilometers away, that you can't see anything about ocean. Like water is 2 kilometers away and
Wow.
it's empty. Boats are in the water, but it's sit in the sand.
In the
There's
sand.
no water. Then after some hours it's coming back and you can see with your eyes that water is coming back and it's getting full with water and boats started swimming again on the water. Like
Wow.
imagine witnessing this with your own eyes.
Yeah.
This is something special also. And the thing I love here, I always mention this, I love the music and dance culture here. I think it's special for Africa, not only Zanzibar, but dance and music is something normal here. And whenever they hear something melodic, like everybody start dancing, and it's not something to be ashamed of. So everybody love dancing. I love dancing. I love music. I love Afrobeats. I love Amapiano. So this makes me so happy. Whatever I'm hearing, this music in restaurant, in cafe, in shopping, somewhere, I hear this music, and this makes me so happy.
Wow. That is so awesome. It sounds like it's got such a warm, welcoming, inviting vibe in the cut.
Exactly.
So you mentioned the town. What is the town that you live in now? What's the name of it again?
It's called Paje.
Thinking about moving abroad but not sure where to start? You're not alone. There are dozens of countries that seem amazing on the surface, but how do you know which ones are actually right for you? The wrong move could be stressful and expensive. That's why at AdventureFreaks.com we created the Ideal Destination Finder. It's a fun, unique tool that helps match you with your top 3 destinations based on your lifestyle, budget, and priorities. All you need to do is go to the AdventureFreaks.com website, scroll down a bit, and you'll see the Ideal Destination Finder. Click it and start the quiz. It takes about 3 minutes and it could save you months of research. So give it a try and stop guessing. Now let's get back to the video. Paje.
Paje. Yeah,
Yeah,
Paje.
Paje. Okay, that's the town that you live in. Okay.
Correct.
All right, great. And the tide, I get curious about the tides. That do the tides rise and recede daily
Yes, every day. And
every
it's
day?
connected to every day. And it's connected to shape of the moon and moves of the moon. So when it's full moon, water is the highest
Do you,
because there is the animation about it, and maybe you can watch later on. When moon is full, it's pulling the ocean wherever moon is moving.
yeah.
So it pulls the ocean.
Do you ever walk out when the tide is low, or just you walk way out on the sand? Do you see like
Yeah, yeah,
fish?
yeah.
You see like fish that have been left behind?
We see octopus. We see octopus and starfish.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
we don't see the swimming fish like this. Maybe if it's like small water like this, I can see small fish, but not big fishes left over on the sand laying down and asking for water. They're
Yeah.
already gone with water.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's great information. Well, thanks for describing that for us. My next question is, what do you do for work there now?
I think I'm not digital nomad right now because I have permanent job and I need to be Zanzibar. I'm not digital right now. So
Okay.
my job is I have tour company here and I serve for the people mostly Turkish because Turkish people want to talk with Turkish people because some of them they don't trust their English. They want to talk to someone face to face. That's why the first time I started this job, I wasn't targeting Turkish people. But when I started creating content, they started to find me and come to me and I say, okay, if you want, I can help you also. So I have tour company right now. I organize safaris, tours, transfers, everything about Tanzania in Zanzibar.
Do you have a website for that or no?
Yeah, we have a website for that. It's Penna Tour. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll put that in the description below
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And how do you promote it on social media?
We create content and we daily meet with the hotels and other organizers to connect with each other, and we
Mhm.
create content. This is the best thing, as you know, you create YouTube content also. Content is helping us so much.
What platform do you use to create that content?
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, Instagram and TikTok. Okay, so provide those links too, and we'll put them
Mm,
in the description below so people that are
yeah,
interested in doing a tour in Zanzibar can find you.
yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Erva, let's dive into like visa for people that want to visit, people that want to live there for a long-term stay, possibly even retire. What can you share about the visa requirements in Tanzania and Zanzibar?
Okay, the first time you are landing, you need $50 visa on arrival,
Okay.
which is valid for 90 days. So whoever coming first time, they will come with this visa and they can do visa on arrival. But if they don't want to waste time in airport filling the form and waiting in a long queue, they can fill up in the online and it comes in 3 or 7 business days. So they
Okay.
can do that also.
Okay.
And the second option is to get kind of like investor visa, which costs some $100,000. I don't have this one right now, which is some $100,000. And if you buy land or you open a shop and you create company, you can get visa over this also. And the resident permit kind of costs right now almost $3,000
Three thou
resident permit.
for a resident permit.
Yeah.
3,000 you got to pay as a an application fee? 3,000?
Yeah, exactly. Application fee and the fee of the rest, I think. In total, it comes to something like $3,000 to get resident visa.
Okay, and that's a resident visa
Resident permit. Resident permit, I mean, sorry.
or permit. Okay, do you know if there's like, do they look at a lot of countries, they want to make sure that people can support themselves when they move there? Do you know if there's a income requirement?
I'm not sure about this, but it's not easy to get this visa.
Okay.
So I'm sure about this. It's not so easy to get. So they need to, of course, they only want people that who can support themselves and they won't suffer in the island. So
Okay.
I'm sure they're checking that financial stability and you have enough power to turn yourself in Zanzibar. Yeah.
Yeah, to support yourself. Okay, great. Okay. All right, thanks for that. Let's dive into everybody needs a rental when they first move there. So what can in Zanzibar, in this beautiful area of Tanzania, you can walk to the beach, you got cafes everywhere. How much are rentals going for?
Okay, great question. So before we start talking, it was already in my mind to start talking about accommodation. So as you can guess, in Africa, standards are have big difference between them. So local people, they can live for $50 per month as rental. They
Okay.
pay $50 and they live in this house. But I'm sure it's not the house I can live in and then your viewers can't live in.
Yeah.
So it depending on the standards, it's starting from $300 per room. It's not kind of full house. First, mostly they prefer per room because the house owners imagine a house and there is a pool in the middle and they rent per room. So starting from $300 and going up to $1,000 and $1,500, something like that. And my home is it's one of the best area of Paje and the best project, and I'm paying over average. I'm paying $650.
$650 USD.
Yeah, and it's a studio apartment, and it's fully furnished, and bills are not included. Internet is not included. Water is not included. But I live in the beautiful place which has um, kind of like 10 different buildings, 10 different buildings, and it 3 floors. I live in the garden floor and I have private garden. I
Oh,
want to add this. Yeah, my home is beautiful
okay.
and it has security.
Okay.
and the reception area, something like that.
Now, what if you want to live like a local and find an apartment or a house where you live maybe a few blocks away? You can still walk to the beach, but you live like a local. Do you know what those prices go for?
I'm thinking about this. For the house owners, if they see you, you are as the skin color like me, still they won't give you the prices they will give to locals.
I
It
see.
will be still higher than that. That's why I can never get for these prices. But I know they live it for like 1 month, $50 and like $100 and $200. Even $200 is too much, but yeah, this rent prices, yeah.
Okay. For the
And they share the home
okay.
also.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Great information. And you said that utilities are separate. How much do you pay for utilities?
Utilities, I think $60 per month or $50 per month, something like that.
Okay. And what is that? What utilities does that include?
Water and electricity.
All right, great. And so how much is the Wi-Fi and cell there?
Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi is expensive. I don't have it in my home right now because I was looking for the better one. But I know one of my friend. He has one of the strongest and like fastest internet brands in the island, and he pays $70 for that.
Wow, that is
It's
expensive.
expensive, right? It's
Yeah,
expensive, yeah.
that's more expensive here than the US, but you're sometimes that's a little bit remote. Starlink with, Elon Musk created Starlink, and a lot of people that I talk to pay for Starlink that live in remote areas of Colombia or Uruguay and they have excellent, but they pay about $50 for the Starlink.
I wish I could have this in Zanzibar right now. I'm not sure if we have Starlink right now. I think we don't have right now, but
Yeah.
if it comes, I will be the first one to get it. I will be the first sign up and first buyer to get it.
So how are
Zanzibar is expensive.
how are we speaking? Because you have excellent reception. How are we doing this?
Because I'm in the reception of my this condominium and this apartment area. I'm using their internet and it's nice. And I want to show you a little bit of area of reception. And this is
Oh.
upstairs. There is downstairs of reception.
This is where you live?
Yes,
Wow. You are living in a awesome place in Zanzibar. Okay.
yes. Thank God, yes.
And how much is your cell phone per month?
It is expensive also. The more I talk, the more I realize why I'm paying that. Yeah, but I need to convert some Tanzania shillings to dollar. Right now the rate is $1 is 200, 2,650 shillings.
Okay.
So this
Yeah.
is $1. This is what
Okay.
is $1 right now. And I pay 60,000 shillings, which makes $22.
22
22,
bucks
$25, yes.
for your cell. Well, so you're not paying anything for Wi-Fi right now?
Yeah, I don't pay anything for Wi-Fi right now. But I think I'm going over $25 because every week I'm renewing my internet extra, like $5, $5, $5, $5, 5 GB, $5, 5 GB, something like that. So it's going over that, I think. But monthly average is $25.
All right, great. Well, let's move on to groceries. How are groceries affordable in Zanzibar? And how much do you think you budget per month to fill your refrigerator up?
Okay, so this one, when I go to market, I find this price is expensive. And there is so hard to find things under $1. It's
Hmm.
hard to find things that under $1. So for example, today I got from market a bottle of milk, which is kind of like 1 liter. It looks like this, and it was $3,
Okay.
$3 to $4, something like that.
Okay.
And per month, at least I'm using 250 to $300 for
Okay.
groceries.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking the reason sometimes like why it's expensive than Europe, even Turkey and
Yeah.
United States. But I think because it's Africa and we do, in Zanzibar it's not so much mm, possible to grow things. because it's like raining, not raining, hot, so hot. It's not, everything is coming from mainland. And
Yeah,
since we are island, it's coming with the transportation fees. So I think it's adding up more, and it's because in touristic island.
sure. Okay, great. And then restaurants, eating out at a local restaurant, a Zanzibar restaurant. What are you going to pay for a meal? And what are the meals in Zanzibar? What do they give you in a local Zanzibar type restaurant?
Local Zanzibar type restaurant. Okay, now I'm dreaming with my mind this plate. Okay, imagine a plate. Imagine a plate. One part is French fries. I don't know what you call this in States. Like we call it in Zanzibar chipsy. We
Yeah,
call it chipsy.
it's the same thing, French fries.
Yeah. And one part of it is French fries, and quarter part of it is vegetables. It can be peppers, it can be broccoli, potato, and other kind of things. And one part is seafood. It can be octopus, calamar, kingfish. It can
Oh.
be prawns. A typical kind of Zanzibar meal looks like this in local restaurant.
And how much is that?
The plate like that cost um, $7 to $8, something like that.
Okay. And is that the typical cost for a meal there? Would you say the average?
It's not the. I think average is a meal is $10,
Okay,
and
$10.
it can go above that. It can be 20 or 22 also for
Sure.
one meal. But if we go local, so local, if we go to street food, you can be full for like $2 or $3. This is possible also, but I'm talking about a plate restaurant that you can sit, eat,
Yeah.
and use knife and fork, something like that.
Do they have any of those outdoor kind of street food cafes where you can sit down and they serve you food and you get the seafood and you get maybe the French fries and the salad and all that for less than $10 or?
It is possible for less than $10 also, but still I can't call it cheap. So imagine a big table and you tell the man whatever you want. He's putting for your plate, and in the end he's giving you with the price.
Mhm.
Still it's not less than $5.
Yeah.
It's not less than $5.
Okay. All right. And so do you how often do you eat out per month?
I can think about per week. I think per week, 2 times outside I eat.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So you're doing about 20, 40, 60, 80. So about you're spending about probably about $80 per month, it sounds like, eating out in restaurants.
80 $80 per month. I think I'm spending more than that.
Eating out. Okay.
Because yeah, my wallet doesn't think like this. My wallet thinks, I think I spent $150 to $200 maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Because there are times I don't want to cook at home because I'm so tired from work. When I come home, I
Yeah.
don't have energy to cook. I order from outside.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, getting around Zanzibar. How do you do that? Do they have a public transportation system? And what is it and how costly is it?
So yes, we have public transportation, and it's called Dala Dala. I'm writing you from chat. The
Dalla
bus,
Dalla. I
it's
like that. Dalla
Dala Dala.
Dalla. Oh, that's cool.
As if like people saying Dale, but it's Dala.
Dalla.
Da- It's
Da-
Dala Dala.
Dalla Dalla.
It's a like, local bus, and it can take you anywhere, and it's cost something like less than $1.
Okay.
Let's say it's $1.
Okay.
Even 2 hours bus journey can take you somewhere for $1, but it's a little bit harsh to go in that because people are pushing each other a little bit. So I don't prefer that so much. I used the time. I didn't have much money. I used it, but people pushed me so hard, and they step on my feet, and they do this with their elbow,
Uh-oh.
and they throw their bags from window before bus stops. So imagine bus coming, and they're opening window, putting their bag inside the seat so nobody can sit.
Sure.
So when I go inside with my bag, and I'm looking everywhere is full of bags, so I'm standing up like
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
had experience like that. So I don't think anyone comes as tourist can do that.
Mm,
Backpackers can do that
sure.
as they're close to my age. but it can be a little harsh for the older people, even for my parents.
Yeah.
So we take private car and taxi around.
Okay. And how much do those cost?
For example, let's say 1 hour or 1.5 hour taxi journey can take you $40,
Okay.
$40, 40, $45, something like that.
For a 1 hour ride.
1 hour and 1.5 hour ride.
Okay. And how about, do they have ride share there where you can find and get somebody on an app on your phone and have somebody come pick you up? Like Uber or Grab or any of that?
I wish we had, but none of the transportation apps works in Zanzibar. Not
Okay.
Uber, not Grab. Imagine all of the apps you use there. Nothing works in Zanzibar. That's why you need to get private hire with the car. But the thing I love here about taxis, taxis are standard, and it's Toyota Alphard. It can take up to 6 people, and it's a big car and it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there
Okay.
are some WhatsApp groups about ride share, and they are writing, "Hello, tomorrow this time I'm going this place to this place. If anyone wants to join, welcome," or wants to share a taxi. There are
Mm.
possibilities like this.
Okay. All right, great. All right, the next area that we talk about is the fun, the entertainment. What do people do in Zanzibar for fun? You are 26 years old, so you got to know all the fun things to do.
Yes, I know. So the first thing come to my mind is beach parties.
Yeah.
As you said, we have mostly outdoor activities because imagine you live next to beach and you have ocean breeze. You can take these all people and stuck in one like closed club. Yeah. So there are beach parties and mostly and there are entrance fees,
hmm
something like $3, $4, and they put your bracelet so you can get inside. And there are some African nights, which there are some like Maasai shows. The Maasai tribe, they're coming from mainland, and they
hmm
are showing their culture, their dance, and it's beautiful. And there are African drums, the
hmm
there are African drums. They play that in the beach, and there are in the some cafes and restaurants, mostly not some, they are doing something like sundowners. So when there is sunset time, there are music playing, people getting cocktails and drinks, they enjoy the sunset. There are events like this everywhere in the Zanzibar. So I
hmm
love that.
that sounds like a lot of fun. Do they have like so the water is really very clean and crystal clear in Zanzibar. Do they do any like tours for can you get certified as a scuba diver there? For diving, do they have like a snorkeling culture? Snorkeling around the caves and diving around the caves. Do they do that?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, north of the Zanzibar, which is Nungwi and Kandva, famous for snorkeling. And there is an area, marine conservation area called Mamba Island, and it's best for snorkeling there. It's a beautiful area, and you can get a PADI certificate diving course. You can get in Zanzibar, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Do you have any idea what they charge to become certified?
I think it's something like over $200, but it's
Okay.
depending of the course and how many dives. Like there are 2 dives, 4 dives, 6 dives, and it's going, I think, over $500. But starting from $200, I'm sure about this.
All right, great. And what are the areas you said that people go to do the diving and the snorkeling? Okay.
It's called Namba Island.
Nemba.
You pronounce so well.
Oh, thank you. I try. So many people in the comments and my videos say I need a lot of practice on certain things. And I do. I do get a lot of words wrong, but I do my best. Um, okay, so and do they have any, are you familiar with any like do they have any galleries there where people or art, like do they have an art scene where people can go to a gallery, look at art, or do they have any kind of theater or dance companies in Zanzibar that you're familiar with?
Uh, Can you tell me again what's the first thing you ask? Art gallery. Yes,
Yes.
art
Art.
gallery. There are art galleries in the area of Stone Town, which is capital of Zanzibar.
Stone Town. Yeah, that's very pretty there. Stone
Yeah,
Town has
and
like
there are art
cobblestone.
galleries in Stone Town.
Okay. How far are you from Stone Town?
I'm 1.5 hour far from Stone Town.
Oh, you are. Okay, so it is a distance. Okay. And do they have any, do you know of any like dance companies or theater companies or anything like that in Zanzibar or nearby?
I know about dance companies. I'm not sure about theater companies. There are so many dance companies and dance clubs that where they teach dance because they play Afrobeats, and I love Afrobeats so much. And I try to practice in front of mirror when I go to parties. I try to do the same moves like them. Sometimes
Yeah.
I go on the stage, something like this. Yeah, it's fun. There are so many dance companies, and you can get dance course in Zanzibar.
That's great. So when you get back to Turkey and you go to Istanbul and you go to a club and you start dancing like you do in Zanzibar, people are going to go, "What? Where did she learn that?"
Yeah, also in here in Zanzibar, they're asking me, where did you learn all this? And I said, I practice a lot in parties. I'm trying to do the same moves as you do. So after, okay, you try one time, two times, second time, okay. And if the fifth time you start doing the same because it's a muscle memory kind of. You
Sure.
hear the music, I remember the choreography and I start doing the same.
Yeah, that's terrific. All right, thanks for that, Erva. The last thing we have on our list is healthcare. Everybody's always interested when moving to a country about learning about healthcare and how do you access healthcare as an expat living there?
Okay, so there are two type of hospitals in Zanzibar, the government ones and the private ones, kind of like private clinic. Private clinics are for the tourists that who are not resident. It's kind of expensive.
Okay,
For example, to check up something and like doctor seeing you and talking about your like they want to hear like what's your problem, what happened, and something like this. And it's going over $100.
okay,
And imagine vaccination and about medicine is not expensive. In the pharmacy, medicine is not expensive, and it's possible to find all kind of medicines. But the hospital thing is in the private clinic. I think it's over $100. It's going until 500, maybe more.
okay. Are there any insurance plans that people can purchase there or expats can purchase that would keep the cost down?
Yeah, there is one thing that Zanzibar started in the October 2024 that every person who enters Zanzibar, they need to get insurance from the government of Zanzibar, and it costs $44, and they don't accept any other health insurance or travel insurance from another company. You need to get it from their website, and they give you a QR code. And when you're coming to Zanzibar, it can be from ferry from mainland Africa to Zanzibar, or if you land by flight, and you need to scan this QR code. And this is the first health insurance that they can make.
Okay.
And I don't know about the other insurance plans right now.
Is that the public health insurance that costs $44?
Yes, and during their stay, it's valid for 90 days.
Okay. So if you stay long term, do you know anything about how much they'd have to pay if they stay long term for a year
And
or two or
they don't have yearly plan for that because it's for the tourist coming for a limited time.
okay. Okay.
So they need to renew it if they want this one. And also for be able to stay, you need to renew your insurance.
I see. And so they do have a public health care plan? There are a public health care system, you said.
Public healthcare system means having hospitals in Zanzibar. What does this means? Because in
Oh, like
Turkey we have free healthcare system. So I don't know what
yeah,
you mean about healthcare
that
system.
that's kind of what yeah, so the public if they're offering public health care, it's usually for everybody in the country and it's often free or it's very, very low in cost to ensure that everybody has access to health care.
Yes, it's like this in Zanzibar. I remember taking my friend to a hospital, and it was a government hospital, so it was public hospital, and we didn't pay anything there. We just paid for the medicine that doctor write us, buy this, and we didn't pay anything. And
Okay,
I went to hospital by myself because I had ear infection. Still, I didn't pay anything.
okay. So you are covered on the public plan, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering if they just automatically cover all expats or retirees that decide to live there. I wonder if that
Yeah,
auto
of course. It's for everyone.
it is. So it's
It's
free.
for everyone.
So some people they wouldn't need to purchase private insurance because they get free public and health care.
Yes, exactly. Okay, now I started to understand your healthcare system because I think United States doesn't have free healthcare
No,
system.
no, it's very
Mm,
expensive here.
yeah, I hear news about it. It's nonsense and it's so weird. Like,
It
why
is.
would people pay for health insurance? Like, there are hospitals.
Yep, yep, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, we've covered everything. Is there anything else you can think of that we didn't discuss about moving or people that are interested in moving or living in Zanzibar that you could share with them that could be helpful for the viewers?
Yes, I think there are some things I would like to add. And the first thing is, I think when you come to anywhere in Africa, it can be also Tanzania and Zanzibar. Uh, don't try to change the system or like complain about the things happening around you or to you because the more you push to change and you're complaining, nothing is changing. It's only making you upset. So accept whatever happens and the things, for example, electricity. We have big issue with electricity every day, at least 2 hours, and there are electricity cuts in anywhere in Zanzibar. And when it's high season, the electricity they're receiving from mainland, they are buying from mainland. So it's not enough for whole island. So they decided to cut in one area 2 hours and another area 2 hours and another area in two hours, 3 hours electricity. I remember the times we didn't have electricity for 2 days.
Okay.
So can I change it by myself or doing something? I can't. So I started stopping being angry and I sit in the dark in my home and I'm just sweating, but I'm not complaining. I accepted it because I can't change it. I love Zanzibar. I want to live in Zanzibar, but I'm angry about this. This causes nothing. I can't fix anything. So this was one example about electricity, and we can add this to anything happening around you. For example, people are running behind you to sell something. Imagine they want to make their life, maybe they want to eat $1 cost meal just for selling you one bracelet.
Hmm.
So there are different kind of standards, so you need to accept it and stop pushing to change it. When you accept, you will be more happy in Zanzibar.
All right. Well, Erva, your last name is Nurpal, right?
Yeah, my full name is Erva Nur Pal. My
Erva
middle name is Nur.
Erva Nur Pal. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this information, and that is excellent advice to anybody that's looking to move to Zanzibar. So thank you for that. And thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of this podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me and inviting me here. Whoever coming to Zanzibar, I think they will fall in love with the culture and the environment and the nature. It's a special place with special culture.
All right. Well, you have a great rest of the evening over there, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.